Hi guys, welcome back to the Java class. In today's session, you will learn a very important and interesting topic, that is a jagged array. So what is it? A jagged array in Java is an array of arrays in which the length of each array can be different. It means that each sub-array can have different number of elements. Jagged array can be useful in a situation when you would like to create a table-like structures but with a variable row sizes. Let us understand how to create the jagged array. So first let me just show you how to create a two-dimensional array. So here this is a syntax to create a 2D array which will create a matrix of 3 rows and 4 columns. But whenever you will create a jagged array, the size of column dimension is not mandatory. It is optional part. You can just remove the size of a column inside the jagged array. What is the meaning of it? In this syntax, you can see we have provided only the size of a row. We have not provided the size of a column. It means we don't know each row will contains how many elements. So this is a jagged array that contains 3 number of rows, but I don't know how many element will be present in each row. So this is the way how to just declare a jagged array. So let us just create the size of each row. So how will you just initialize the size of each row? So initializing the inner array, I can say it may be of different length. For example, the row 0 will contain only one element, so you can provide the length is 1, right? In the similar way, you can provide the size of other subarray also. The row 1 contains the 2 element. Here you can provide the row 2 contains the 3 element. So this is the way to create a jagged array that will create a 3 different number of rows. First row will contain only one element, the second row will contain 2 elements, and the third row will contain only 3 elements. So how will you just assign the values to it? Initializing the values to jagged array. So how will you initialize? So it is very simple, like a 2D matrix. You will pass the size of the row and the size of the column. It means first row, first element will contain the value 1, or in the similar way you can initialize the complete array like the row number 3, and you can pass the third element, or you can initialize like 7 value. So this is the way you can initialize the value of a jagged array. So I can say this is a method 1, right? This is a method 1. Let me just show you the method 2 to declare a jagged array and initialize a jagged array. So I will write here the int, or here I will write the matrix is equal this one. Okay, inside it I will pass a nested curly braces to define the row elements. So for example, the first row contains 1, 2, 3. Then the second row contains the 4, 5. The third row contains the values 6, 7, 8, and 9. So here you can see we have created a jagged array. So I will just make it little bit simple or understandable. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here, right? So this is a jagged array that contains 3 rows, and each row contains the different number of elements. So let me just show you how to iterate over jagged array here, right? So you can use a simple for loop. So let me just show you for, or this is the loop for the outer array. You can add one more nested loop that will iterate over an element of an array. Inside it, you will simply pass matrix I dot length. You can display the values system dot out dot print, or inside it you will just pass the name of an array and the index, that is the I here, and the j. To display these values, you can pass some space between the values, or whenever this inner loop will be completed, you will jump over to the next line. You can add the new line inside it. So this is the way how will you iterate over an element of a jagged array. Now you will run it and you will see the output. So this is the way you can see the output of the jagged array. In the similar way, you can use the for each loop also to just iterate over an element of an array. So how will you use it? Let me just show you using for each loop, right? How will you use the for each loop? You will simply use the for, right? So inside for loop, I will not pass all the values. I will use the first we will pass the type here, that is row, and you can pass the name of your collection. This is the outer loop. You can use the inner loop, right? So what it does, right? I'm just writing, this is an integer array variable, right? This is a row. So this variable will contain the complete row like 1, 2, 3. Next, this row variable will contain 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. Now you will iterate over each row. So how will you write it? Int, just I can write the column value and here now the row here inside it, or I can use the system.out.print. Here I will write system.out.print, okay, or I will just, okay, I will copy this part, I will put this one, right? Or you can come to the next line, right? So here you will not pass I and j, you will simply write the column value, right? Okay, let me just run it and let me just show you the output of it. So you can see the output using the, this is using the for loop and this is using the for each loop. So I will just put it in a separate place, or I will just add this part so it will be understandable easily. What is the output of for loop and what is the output of for each loop? So here you can see this is how to iterate over an element of jagged array using for loop, and this is how to use the for each loop. So I hope you understand the concept of jagged array and how to iterate over an element of a jagged array, right? But what are the benefits of using the jagged array, or what can be the application of it? Jagged array can be used in matrix operations with where you have a non-uniform data. Jagged array can be used to store information that contains some hierarchical relationship. It can be used in the sparse matrix. You know, in mathematics and computer science, a sparse matrix is one in which most of the elements are zero, right? So using jagged arrays to implement sparse matrix can be significant reduce memory usage, since you only store non-zero elements and their positions, right? Jagged array can be used to represent dynamic table in your data structures. It can be used to present the graph representations. So jagged array has lots of applications. Now this is your homework. You can explore more applications of jagged arrays. So guys, what we have done so far, just you can see, we have created, this is the method 1 to create and initialize the jagged array element. This is the method 2 to just create and initialize the jagged array element, and this is the how to iterate over an element of a jagged array using for loop, and how to use the for each loop to iterate over an element of a jagged array. So I hope you understand this concept of jagged array and you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.